everyone, welcome back to the Elbis and Elbis World Class Podcast. I'm joining with Elbis.
Hi, pal.
And this week it's episode 5. Obviously, last week.
The penultimate episode of the series.
It is, yeah. I was rehearsing that as well earlier, just to say that. Yeah, and I forgot to say it. But yeah, the penultimate episode of the series. It's gone quick, this series, I feel like. The first season of the World Class Podcast. But it's gone down well. Obviously, thoughts on last week before we start?
Well, last week was a funny one. I think it was clear from certainly the beginning of the episode and all the way through that we were exuding our ferocity.
Yeah.
And it was a strange night in general because I feel like that carried on after the podcast. And when I listened to it afterwards, I thought, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And then I listened to it a couple of days later and I thought, actually, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that, again, I think it's a good idea to analyse different sections of it that we did. And if you look at Dream or Vision, well, it's the first one that you've ever done right. So that was a bonus.
I don't know about that. I've done some great ones.
I think that SharkFace was the best episode yet. And I will give you credit there, because in terms of a voice acting performance...
I don't want any credit. Wow. I don't want any credit.
Well...
I know people like say, oh, Elbis, you can do real good voices like that. I don't want credit. It's just, I like to just do it. Well, roll on to the next one.
It was a big episode. It was fantastic.
Big SharkFace.
It's going to be even better today, actually. But and then to finish with, it was a very unusual film of the week because, I did that philosophy.
I'll be honest with you, I thought it was disgraceful.
Well, whatever. But I think it came off really well when I listened to it.
I'm hoping you'd better have a film this week.
Oh, wait and see what I've got this week. Wait and see.
Bloody better be a film. But, I mean, a bit of news for the listeners. We've actually upgraded, finally, to the Podomatic Pro.
Yeah.
We've invested in the podcast. And I'm seeing now, sound effects.
Oh, right. Oh, well, we'll have to look into that. Maybe season 2. It's too late. Season 1 now. But and just with regards to things like stats and... well, the big news is we've had a subscriber.
Yes, we have, yeah.
Yeah, so at least there's one person with sense who listens to this. And obviously we'd like to say thanks to the subscriber, whoever
cheers for
that person may be. It must be a very intelligent person. And
I don't know, I mean... I think subscribers, you can be intelligent to subscribe, but...
Oh, definitely.
Then again, if you're not subscribed, then, as I said last week, what are you doing? I don't understand.
Well, exactly. I mean, it didn't go viral this week, did it?
Are they
4 or whatever it was.
Intelligent, or is everyone else just dumb? That's the question I'm asking there.
Well... whilst I remember, I'd like to say to that subscriber as well that we will have some merch coming out soon. So there'll be your Christmas presents for everybody and yourself. I mean, feel free, just spend freely on it, Yeah, we're going to have big announcement, really. We're going to have merch dropping soon. So I've looked into it. There's going to be stuff for
crazy
kids,
cats. Can
women,
get your hands on that.
Men. And everybody else as well.
That's it, really.
So
yeah,
that'd be good.
Yeah.
And a note to the lazy listeners, because we know that you're out there still. Although we were both initially against doing this, we have segmented some of the film reviews.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
and we're going to keep doing that, just to speed. We're doing a podcast.
Oh. Bloody hell, monkers! We said no interruptions.
Jesus.
We've got listeners here. Anyways, what was we on about?
That's completely...
Yeah. Should we just go into the first segment?
I think we're going to have to, aren't we?
I'm getting out. Yeah. That's ruined it. But before we go into the first segment and that, the Elbis and Elbis World Class Twitter account hit 30 followers.
Yeah.
Which is some big stuff. So cheers for that. Keep following us on Twitter. If you don't,
you miss out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, if you haven't already, go check it out. Follow us at Elbis and Elbis. If you've got any queries or info, there's the email, Elbis and Elbis worldclass email at gmail.com. So go check that out. There's a link to that email in the Twitter account as well. The YouTube, obviously, go check that out if you want. And if you're listening on Podomatic and that, keep listening and stuff. But yeah, first segment, do you think?
Yeah, that's me, innit? Yeah. Hang on a minute. Not ready again.
I just feel like right now we're just sort of getting into the groove of things in this episode.
Well, you've only just walked in.
I've walked in the door. I mean, this is what I mean. This is the professionals we are, really. I've just walked in the door, straight into the recording booth.
Let's get on with it. I've got the tune.
Dream or vision, everyone. Don't you wonder sometimes if it's a dream or vision? The jingle there, it gets better and better every week. It really does. But yeah, dream or vision this week. Obviously, last week, as you said, a very strong dream or vision.
It was. It was.
Now, I'll be honest, this week, I haven't really. I think like what you did last week. You used all your psychic powers, hadn't you?
Yeah,
you discovered Jack the Ripper, so you didn't really have one. I think sort of similar things happened to me, and I've not really had one this week. I had that magnificent dream or vision last week, but it's a shame I haven't. But because I'm an expert observer, I've observed dreams and taken notes
from the dreams that you've had.
From the dreams I've had previously. So I'm good for this episode. I'm going to take the notes from. Okay. I'm just going to do the notes.
Well, it's a shame, really. I mean, I'll leave this bit up to you because I was thinking that I was quite pleased with you last week. And, you know, I'm always like slagging you off and that.
Yeah, a bit.
Behind your back and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought because I was pleased with you from last week, that what I would do is I'd give you the second, the what would you call it, the spotlight of dream or vision to go second. But it's entirely up to you. If you don't think you've got anything, I'm happy to go because, man, again, he's revolutionary. The psychic powers are back.
Well, I've got an interesting one. I've mentioned before about the 3 questions. This dream or vision for me answers all the 3 questions. So go what you want. You go first, Phil. You go first.
Well, the good news is I've had another journey. Not dream, not vision, out of body once again. Right. And I went back to the same place I was on about before, you know, with the lake and the head.
Did you have some honey before it?
No, I didn't. No. And you were supposed to take the honey this week.
Yeah, I did.
I put it in your shoe.
I did.
So what happened?
Last night, no.
Oh, you took it and now it happened?
No.
Can't have been doing it right. Anyway, I went back to this realm that I go to. And to be honest, although I didn't see the lake this time with the head, but I knew I was in the same place, if you know what I mean. So I was like messing about and that, loving it, getting more sort of powerful, you know, getting more used to my surroundings. Do you remember I told you about the doggy paddle flying?
Yeah,
I could do.
Yeah.
Well, I've sort of got to like breaststroke now, so I'm going a lot better with it.
Oh, so you've progressed really?
Yeah. So I'm getting about a lot better, and that's what's interesting because I'm actually having to put some physical effort into it. It seems. And I was loving it. Nothing really major happened, just, you know, like messing about, moving stuff with my eyes and everything. And there was one bit what was a bit weird. I went to a place that wasn't so nice, and it was like an old industrial estate.
Oh, God.
And loads of like factories empty and all this. Yeah. And I was having a look around.
No one in it?
No, completely empty. I was having a look around, and then I looked in the distance, and coming in the distance, rats. Millions and millions of rats just all out in a like line, in a perfect line.
Yeah. Sweeping. Like an army.
Yeah, like an army of rats, sweeping towards me. So I was looking at it, but I wasn't worried because I'm getting good with my powers and that. Yeah. So I just took off again and started going away, and the rats just came as like a big black thing, you know, thingying down. Now, I sort of took off and I was doing breaststroke. I think I might have even been doing crawl at that time, so I got a decent pace up. Yeah. And there might have been somebody chasing me. I can't remember, but I know I wasn't scared because I had all the powers. And I can't really remember what happened there. I ended up at this place, and there was like a skip. I suppose for our American listeners, it'd be like a trash can.
It'd be like
it'd be a dumpster.
It'd be
put your garbage.
Yeah, you put your dumpster. Yeah. Your dumpster in the garbage in the dumpster.
That's right. Yeah. So it was like a dumpster.
So it was a dumpster. Was the garbage in the dumpster?
I don't know because the lid was shut. Yeah. But funny, I remembered that.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was this bloke stood there and he was wearing a lumberjack shirt. I remember that, but I can't remember much else about him.
Well, a lumberjack, was he?
No, I don't think he was. I think he was wearing it for fashion purposes more than anything.
Yeah.
Not very fashionable anymore.
I'm not into
This
it.
is a different realm, and remember the time's different.
True.
The concept of time's different.
Well,
so the bloke was there, and he was like, "All right, Elvis." Again, one of these. Knew him. I knew him. He went up, but I didn't recognise him as such from this realm.
So you knew him
in that realm, not here. And this is the funny thing, because he said to me, I said, brilliant here, isn't it? I love it. And he goes, if you can tell me my name, you can stay. And it was real frustrating, because when something's right on the end of your tongue, and I'm thinking, I know it, and I was just concentrating, and I couldn't do it, and then that sort of like woke me up, and that made me think about a lot of things. There's a few things in there that I want to talk about. Number one is the rats and the black army of rats coming towards me. Now, if you remember in last week's episode, it was the lake went black, and that started coming towards me as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm wondering if you remember the allegory of the cave, I'm sticking my head out the cave and I'm going to look around, and there's something saying, you shouldn't be here, you should be here, you shouldn't be thinking, and that's the black thing, trying to come and get me and get me out. Then the other thing with the bloke who said, what's my name and that, and I think that I'm convinced anyway now that is a place where you go, or where at least I go, before I'm born and after I die. I think it's somewhere I keep returning to, and I think I'm not ready to go there just yet. And so that's why he said to me, once you know my name, then you're ready to come.
So do you think when you die, you'll go up to him and you'll know his name?
Yeah, that's what I reckon.
And you'll be like, oh yeah.
And what I'm a bit worried about is, what if I remembered his name there and then?
That's what I mean. Would you die in your sleep? That's what I was thinking.
What I'm thinking. Yeah. But I love it there. So, if Monkey ever says to you, "Oh God, Scott's died in his sleep last night,"
I don't know where you are.
Well, you just say, "Well,
it was Matt.
Don't worry about it too much." Actually, I've got a suspicion what his name is.
What?
I think it might be Simon, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Well, years ago, my mum saw this ghost, and his name was Simon, and he wore a lumberjack shirt.
Oh God.
And I used a Ouija board once and got in touch with him. And so I only thought of this afterwards, but I wondered if that was maybe him.
Well, I mean, next time you go, but if you know his name, do you say his name?
What, when I'm there?
Yeah. Would you?
I probably would, because I love it. It's real good. Wouldn't you love it if you could, do the, flying doggy paddle or whatever and move stuff with your mind?
I think after a bit, though, I'll be like, I'm bloody sick of this doggy paddle now. And you'd think, I'm sick of it here now.
That's saying I'm sick of walking.
No, but I am sick of
walking.
To be honest, I can't wait to start to pass my test and drive. To be honest, because I'm sick of walking everywhere. I'm constantly trying to get lifts off people, and people won't even take me anywhere, and it's frustrating me because I'm obviously a legend in podcasting.
Well, if you could fly,
as you are, but people won't pick me up. Anyway, that's another story. But I mean, I just think if I was in this world, I think I don't know. I just think a bit bored of this now. Don't really. I know you all.
There's always that argument. If you could do anything, right, would it get too boring? Because I always think that about Superman or Breitbart, whatever he's called.
Was he Superman?
I don't know. I couldn't work it out. Right. But if you could add the power to do anything, it'd get real boring, wouldn't it?
I think the only power that you could possess where it doesn't get boring is podcasting. I think, and that's being a good podcaster, and we obviously have that power. And we're 5 episodes in; it's not got boring yet.
Either that, or just a very slight power. You're a bit stronger than everybody else, but then it's an advantage, but you've still got a challenge.
I think would you prefer to be miles stronger than everyone else, so you can throw people through a wall and that, or just a little bit stronger than everyone else, so you can lift up stuff that people can't lift up? Because I think you'd be more seen as a freak if you could do that. If you could throw people through the wall. Freak. That's true, yeah.
I don't know, actually. I'll have to think about it.
I think you'd be quite heavy-handed as well.
Yeah, well, that's something else I always used to wonder. Superman, who's super strong and can bend iron bars in one hand, and even more than that. And then he gets so tender with Lois Lane. he's going to have to be careful with her, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he should be.
I mean, gets excited, he could kill her quite easily.
If he's anything like bloody Art to Art, having it away every.
Oh yeah, that was actually. Oh man, you should have. Well, seeing as you brought it up, top TV tip: Heart to Heart's on at 7:00 every morning.
Where is it?
Sony Channel on Sky.
I probably won't watch it. I don't get up till 12:30. But
well, I know.
Anyway,
could record it.
So with this realm, now you said about the. What I'm wondering is, where's the industrial side to it come?
No idea. I don't know. It just seemed like, I think this might sound a bit weird, but like you get heaven and hell. That could be like a hell version.
Well, the industrial side.
Yeah.
Why industrial though? That's what I want to know.
Maybe because it's like the thought of working on an industrial estate is hell to me, and that's how I.
Are you 100% sure it was this realm?
Working on an industrial estate. I just wouldn't like to do it. That's all.
But are you 100% sure that you're like in this realm?
Yeah, I touched stuff. I told you.
Yeah, but like, was that the realm you was there? Because like,
it was a bit like,
because it could be a vision that could be a vision.
Nah. Why would it be a vision of rats?
Because it could show the progression from the industrial stuff to like.
Nah, I don't think it was. To be honest. I mean, the only thing I'd say is,
what is it then? If it's not a vision or a dream,
it's an out-of-body experience. I told you.
Well, this is called dream or vision.
Yeah, no,
it's not called dream or out-of-body experience.
I'm not going to hide my out-of-body experiences. If something happens when you go to sleep at night that's weird, that's kind of the subtitle of what this is.
Well,
a little bit, can I? Anyway, so you took this honey.
Oh yeah, crap.
Now it happened at all.
Nah.
Well, that's
in fact, I don't know why you recommended it, to be honest, because I took it and I couldn't even get to sleep because the sugar in it.
Well, yeah, you've
been up for 3 hours.
You're not letting yourself thingy to it. Knowing you was probably playing on his PlayStation or something. You've got to do it.
I'll be honest, it was at about 4 a.m.
Ridiculous. I took it at about 10:00, just as I was going up to bed, and then I was going to sleep within the next hour, if you know what I mean. This is the trouble with you.
Well, I'll give it another go and see what happens. But anyway, you ready for my dream or vision? Or
yeah, go on. Then. You've got the spotlight this week, so.
Well,
I know you've already said it won't be good, but that's given me hope.
I didn't say it won't be good. I've just said it answers the 3 questions.
Oh, okay.
This dream or vision, I thought I had it, and it was I was playing football.
Right.
Anyway, smashing it and that, and goes down in the box, penalty. Referee gives it. Like, Elbis, get on it. Like, no
You're quite
problem.
good at penalties as well. Yeah, I've seen you actually. I'll give you credit
got a video. Anyway, they're like, get on it. I'm like, yeah, all right. Anyway, so
did you take the usual Elbis special?
Well, yeah. What I do is, look one way, hit it the other. That's the Elbis special, if anyone's wondering. But so I went to do that. Now, it just didn't feel right when I hit the ball, right? And I went to go bottom right. I basically.
Keeper's right, you're right.
The keeper's left, my right.
Keeper's left.
My right.
Yeah, okay.
So, do you know that video I showed you about when I scored that penalty? Yeah. It's basically, I was trying to recreate that, right?
Yeah.
Now, I hit it, and it to me, it felt perfect to go in the bottom right. But it went down the middle, and it had no power behind it. Keeper fumbles it, goes in.
Right.
Now I thought...
So you mishit it?
Yeah, I mishit it and it goes in. So I thought, hang on a minute, that ain't right. So I thought, could the result have been different there? Now, I've hit the penalty, going bottom right, and it's gone in the middle. That tells me that something is meaning for it to go down the middle for some reason. I don't think I could have took that penalty 100. What I'm saying is, if I took that penalty 100 times,
we've gone round in a full circle here.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm asking the question here. Are dreams fixed? Because I could have took that penalty. If I took that penalty 100 times, would it have gone in the same place every single time? That's what I'm thinking.
In the dream, if you repeated the penalty, would it go in the same place every time?
Because I think it would. Because I don't understand how it didn't go bottom right, and I was a bit mad that it didn't. Cause
so you maybe saying
the team was laughing at me.
If you're controlling the dream, it'd be a perfect penalty.
Yeah, and it should have been. It should have been a perfect pen. It was going bottom right. I could see it, right, And it just went down the middle. I thought, what's going on here?
It might have been, but it might be like the feeling that you're scared of something, and
I wasn't scared. You know what I mean?
Get away with it.
I'm a penalty master, really. I mean, I'm not being funny about.
I tell you what, it might be
actually. Good thing for the
I could put some meaning behind this. Actually, it might be about last week's podcast. In the when we first listened to it and we were furious still, we thought it was rubbish. So that's you mishitting the ball, mishitting the podcast, and it looks as though it's going to be a complete failure. And then it happens to go in anyway because you listen to it again and you thought,
but this, to be fair, this was ages ago. But then it could be a vision.
Well, it could be a vision that you. That's.
But what I wanted to know is, if I went to kick the ball, right? Say if I went backwards. So you put the ball on the penalty spot, step back, run up to it, hit it towards the goal. If I stood on the other side and went and hit the ball, would that ball just go behind me and then just go in? Because I think it would have.
Probably not.
I think it would have. I just don't. I think it was like I think dreams are fixed. I think that was always going to happen. That, and I just I was annoyed that I didn't hit it.
I'll tell you what it could be like. It could be actually, and I'm really trying to rescue you here because I don't really know why this is going. You've gone right back to the start. I thought he was making progress last week.
3 questions, man. 3 questions.
Well, let me just say this because I might be able to help you out.
Our dreams fixed.
It might be like time, whereas it's like some people say, and I think it is, time's already happened, right? But we're only able to navigate it in a linear fashion, right? So it might be that everything's already happened. We create a world-class podcast. That was destined from the start, from the point of the Big Bang and everything, right? Because it's all already happened.
Yeah.
But we're like a needle on a record. Just we can only go. The record's already there, but the needle's just reading one bit of it at a time. Right. So that dream might be there, all laid out, but you're only able to view it in the same thing. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what I think that dreams are like that. You're going to get to the end of that. No, I think dreams are, you put the record on.
Yeah.
The record's going to, it's going to be the same songs.
Oh, yeah, it is, yeah. But you're only listening to one bit at a time. It's all there, though.
And it's, you know what the starting song is.
And
it's going to end with the song that it's going to, you know the ending of the song.
Yeah.
Or you know the end song on the vinyl, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, no, you don't until you listen to it. But it's there.
But I think that track is going to be the same. Because I think it's fixed. I do.
Could well be. So I've kind of rescued that a little bit for you. But you go on with your 3 questions then, and let's see what that says.
Well, no, that's the 3 questions, really.
Not I never even had 3 questions.
Well, my 3 questions
1, 2, 3. Like
could the result be different?
Don't know.
Are dreams fixed?
Could be.
Was the penalty going to go in like that, whatever way it was hit?
If it's a dream, I would say yes, definitely. But if it's a vision, we don't know, do we? It could have been... And what you said earlier about, I think it... Because I think sometimes, dreams can be something's happened and you're thinking about it while you're asleep, but your mind displays it in a different way. So you have the same feelings in that. Yeah. So it could be something like that. I don't know. But I don't know. I do feel you've got a bit full circle with that.
Well, I think it asked the 3 questions. They're interesting questions.
They are interesting.
The 3 questions have been asked. You've answered them. I think that's it for my dream or vision.
And so, really, the object of this dream or vision is not the object, the outcome. You've got to try the honey thing again, but at a reasonable time when you're not playing on your PlayStation and stuff.
Well, I was playing football.
And I've got to make a decision.
NBA.
That if I meet this guy again in my dream, do I dare say, is your name Simon or not? And I'll
tell you what, if you can't ask him if it begins with an S.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we know.
Yeah. All right, well.
Right.
Good idea.
Yeah. That good segment, man. I might try one of these sound effects. Well, I thought I clicked it. What's happened?
But we might not be able to hear it. Stop it.
Oh, it didn't stop him. Oh, it might be loading or something.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll put.
You got. Well,
no, that was that.
Yeah.
I'll put this on now. So I'll have the outro.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Dream or Vision, everyone.
Yeah. Don't you wonder sometimes if it's a dream or vision?
Well, everyone, that was Dream or Vision. Now it's time for the penultimate episode of SharkFace.
I can't believe we've got here already. Seems to have gone so fast.
Seems to have gone so quick. The fifth instalment in the fifth chapter, I'd say, in the SharkFace.
Very action-packed episode. I complimented Elbis earlier on last week.
It's heating up now.
Performance.
It is heating up now. Obviously, last week, huge episode. And it's just these last three are going to be.
Do we do a quick summary or not? Obviously, we don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I want to say is, what I should say is, if you haven't, if you are up to date with SharkFace and listen to it, make sure you go back and listen to all the SharkFaces. Actually, at the end of the season, we'll have a SharkFace compilation, so you can listen to it in its entirety once the season's finished. But for now, make sure you go back, listen to the every podcast and get up to date.
Basically,
yeah.
They're on the island. Last week was an exciting episode. As
you got that bottle
on? Yeah. Riley, the Jack. Well, Alex was already killed. He was it wasn't Alex. It was Johnny, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Johnny, nice kid. He was killed by something. Then Riley, the Jack, he nicked the boat, or for American friends, stole the boat last week. And when he was on the getaway, there was something in the cool box when he went to get a beer. And, well, we sort of saw it anyway. It was like a man-shark thing. And it's killed him. So as we stand now, the boat is offshore, bobbing up and down. And everybody is on the island still, and there's something going around killing people and that. Yeah. So it's quite an exciting episode we find ourselves in.
Well, Pete's asking the question, what's going on?
Yeah. Oh, he is, yeah.
Don't know what's going on.
He sort of knows what's going on because he's been there before. It's the rest of them, isn't it?
Really? Well, he's sort of the leader of the group, though, isn't he? He's sort of like going, what's going on? Everyone's like going...
He's become the leader.
Oh, yeah, what is going on? But anyway, should we get into
it? Yeah.
Well, everybody, the penultimate episode here, this is going to be a big one. Strap in for SharkFace.
Pete and Ashley are awoken suddenly by the sounds of Rob.
My goddamn boat!
The group rush over as the maniacal mariner throws his empty rum bottle into the ocean. The boat, now a mere dot on the horizon, aimlessly drifting further away from the panic-stricken party. Pete performs a rushed head count, taking little time to notice the missing roustabout Riley.
That little jerk. I'll kill him,
shouts Pete. Ashley uses her ever-calming influence to settle the group.
We gotta think we have to work together.
Rob suggests they build a raft and volunteers to venture into the jungle to collect wood and vines they would need.
I'm coming with you,
says Ashley.
You're going nowhere without me,
says Pete. Alex and Amber also offer their services.
Well, you better not slow me down,
warns Rob, before throwing Pete a large machete and heading off sternly into the trees. The sun beats down on Rob as he hacks away at the final remnants of a small Brazil nut tree. Pete embarks on a quest to receive some suitable-looking vines high atop a giant kapok. Amber positions herself halfway between Pete and the ground, with the intention of passing his wares to the awaiting Ashley and Alex. Rob then informs the group of another suitable Brazil nut tree a short distance away before heading off alone. Pete's machete makes light work of the vines, which he passes down rapidly to Amber. As she passes these down to the next link in the chain, she loses her footing, slipping down the giant trunk and landing awkwardly at the feet of Ashley.
Amber!
Alex cries. Pete shouts down to check on her condition.
She'll be okay, Pete,
says Ashley.
I got this. You concentrate on the vines. We're running out of time. Agreed,
says Pete, as he checks his own footing and begins working his way higher up into the canopy. Rob's arms ache as he smashes the sharp blade deep into the wooden flesh of the Brazil nut tree. Fueled by his burning desire to make it away from this deserted hellhole, he stops momentarily to wipe his brow. He breathes deeply as he swigs his precious rum from his silver hip flask. He's startled by what sounds like a snapping branch, turning quickly.
Pete? Is that you? Who's there?
He crouches, listening intently. Then suddenly, out of the bushes appears a large rat, which then scuttles off harmlessly.
I gotta cut down on the booze, man.
He shakes his head and turns back to finish the job at hand. Without warning, Rob is engulfed by a vicious snarling tornado of teeth, the searing pain of flesh removed mercilessly from the bone, with barely time to scream for help. With Amber now being propped up by Alex, Ashley calls for Pete.
I think we have plenty of vines now, Pete. We better find Rob and get back to camp.
Pete begins to disembark with extreme care. As Pete's feet hit the floor, he takes time to check on Amber before calling out for Rob.
I think he headed over there,
says Alex. The group gather together the logs and vines. They head off in the direction where Rob was last seen.
Rob? Rob? Rob!
The group call for their friend, becoming worried as to his whereabouts. Pete identifies a hacked Brazil nut tree, and they rush over.
He's been here,
Pete says. They inspect the scene, and Ashley stumbles across Rob's silver engraved drinking flask.
Look,
she says. Pete snatches the drinking vessel from her grasp.
I'm worried,
he says.
That drunken SOB would never leave his booze behind.
He turns to a blood-curdling scream from Amber. A headless Rob dangling upside down from an ungahuru tree.
Let's get out of here,
Pete exclaims. He grabs the hobbling Amber as they dart off back to camp. Well, everyone, that was SharkFace, the penultimate chapter in this story. That sets up the last
phenomenal episode. I thought.
Yeah, it was
phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's only going to get better in the next episode. So
I'm going to be really sad next week when it's over. I'm sad, but I'm pleased because it's a story. It's a classic story, which needed putting out into the universe. I feel, and that will have been done.
Well, yeah, I think
it's also the end.
I'll be happy. I'll be happy and sad in a way because, in a way, the way I see this podcast, it's like the first season. Once that ends, it's like you've done your first album.
Yes, and what an album!
It's like it was hard work to do it, but once it's all done, I mean, yeah, there's some songs that
takes a lot out of you, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah,
producing
absolutely,
quality,
absolutely,
keeping standards high.
The thing is, when you're two world-class entertainers, I mean, people think, them two have got it easy. You know, they've got all this bloody, they can entertain
talent.
Yeah, that's the word. That's what I was going for. They've got all this talent, and they can entertain everyone. Oh, their life must be really easy. It ain't. It's hard.
No,
it is hard work to do, but what do? We do it.
About 7 weeks now we've been doing this.
And that's why we got a little bit frustrated last week because we put all this effort in, and that we just like thought, oh well, no one appreciates the effort, but we do. So,
and the thing is, after next week, we're going to be getting the merch out, which you're all buy.
Oh god!
Then obviously we're going to get this $1 million offer for SharkFace each, and that's the starting price, by the way. There will be bids accepted.
I was going to say that's to me that seems a bit low, but for your first film, you've got to do, you've got to get your name on there. Yeah. But I mean, in a way, I reckon the podcast will do that for us, really. But
probably, yeah.
You never know. I might whack another $2 million on the deal. We'll see what happens.
What are we doing now then?
Oh yeah. What are we doing? Film of the week, innit?
Yeah,
film of the week. You oh god, yeah. Well, obviously last week was a disgrace from you.
No, it wasn't a disgrace. It was a popular segment.
I don't even know. I still don't know what he was on about.
Philosophy.
Plato's Cave.
Philosophy. Holy crap! I didn't know whether it was a film or what.
It wasn't a film. It was a philosophy. It was a thought experiment.
It's like me turning up to.
It's about time somebody I just wanted to freshen things up a bit.
All I'm going to say is you better have one. You better have a film or a series because it's like me turning up to this podcast with saying, "Oh, I ain't got a dream or vision." So just reads.
Sometimes I wish you hadn't, to be quite honest. But actually, today's was not great.
Groundbreaking.
It was all right because I managed to put some sort of an interesting spin on it. Last week's was good. I'll give you that. But then out of our 5 episodes, generally it's been crap. But I might as well start talking about it first.
Yeah.
With regards to last week, I think it's important that we just discuss a few points about last week. In that, if you remember, I was absolutely sick of the film industry. I wasn't enjoying films anymore. I'd lost all respect for actors.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether you'll remember this bit or not. And I felt a bit out of order afterwards, but I had a bit of a go at Australian actors.
I'll be honest.
My actual words were that there was only 13 Australian actors, excluding Russell Crowe, and all of them had been in Home and Away or Neighbours, right? I did say that. But that's why something really funny happened this week. And again, I don't know if it's the universe or what.
Yeah.
Little film landed in my lap.
Oh.
Now, it was called LA Confidential. You ever heard of it?
I feel like I have, but I haven't seen it though.
I'll tell you what, it's excellent.
Is it?
It is, yeah. Now, this is why it's weird, because first of all, it's excellent.
Who's in it?
I'm getting to it. First of all, it's excellent.
Not got Mark Wahlberg in it, is it?
No,
that's the other one I'm thinking of.
No. Oh, your boyfriend, Leonardo DiCaprio, he's not in it.
My boyfriend. Both respected.
It was excellent. I really enjoyed it. So that kind of, because I think the universe listened to our podcast in a way, and because I said I was sick of films, the crap, this film landed in my lap, really enjoyed it. That sort of dispelled that for me. In a way, it made me a bit depressed because it was made in 1997. So it's an old film, and so I stand by what I say, that the vast majority of modern films are absolute crap. Joker was all right. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
But everything else, absolute trash. I mean, it's all superheroes and that, and I don't want superhero films. But
no.
Anyway, so the second point I wanted to make was...
What was your first point?
Oh, the first point is I watched a good film and I said there was all crap.
Oh, right,
so the universe obviously listened to get and landed this film in my lap.
To be fair, though, I watched that film last week, Relic. And that Australian actors, and they were all crap.
Well, this is where it came up about the Australian actors. But listen to this. Now...
Australian themed podcast last week, really, wasn't it? Lots of Australians.
There was one there, the native Australians.
Anyway, go on.
Anyway, so the second point I'm going to address was the fact I don't respect actors.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, before I tell you who they are, that I enjoyed this film because it was quite unusual, because it had, at the beginning, it had 3 protagonists,
right,
which isn't that common. They built it around 3 characters.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'll give you the name of the first character, the first protagonist. 3 coppers, they were basically.
Can you remember is this the name of the actor or the character?
Actor.
Oh, right, okay.
Now, the name of the first actor you'll be familiar with, it's Ernie, the controversial Kevin Spacey.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah.
That's 2 appearances he's made now.
Yeah, but he's almost irrelevant in what I'm trying to say. Because it's the second and third protagonists what will interest you most. The first one, Russell Crowe, Australian, isn't he? Being in Neighbours or Home and Away, I can't remember which one of it is. And he's one of the people who are singled out as not being in the 13 Australian actors. And the second protagonist, Mike out of Neighbours.
Really? Was he in it?
Yeah. So do you know who he is?
Mike, yeah. Everyone knows Mike.
No, you know the film Memento?
Oh, yeah, that one.
The main guy out of that guy.
Where he takes photos and that.
Memento. Oh, yeah. You know, Guy Pearce or something, or Guy. I think he was in the Time Machine.
Guy Ritchie.
No, he was in the Time Machine.
Mexican,
Guy Pearce. He was in the Time Machine or something. Anyway, let's call him Mike out of Neighbours. So he was out of Neighbours and he is an Aussie. So that's Russell Crowe, Mike out of Neighbours, both in Neighbours.
2 Aussies, yeah. 2 Aussies.
Guess who else was in it?
Was he Australian?
Yeah.
Only
a small part.
Chris Hemsworth.
No, I never heard of it. The Mentalist.
No way.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
what's his name?
I don't know. Simon something.
Brilliant.
He was in it.
Brilliant.
Only a small part. He played a bloke who got murdered. I won't tell you much about it. It's a bit seedy.
Great actor.
But
great actor.
so if we address my points from last week, hated films, Universe Head, give me a good film.
Actually, I think this is the first positive film you've had.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, Heart was positive, but that was
that wasn't even a film. It was a
episode from a series. So Universe addressed the fact I didn't like films. He gave me this film, good film.
Cool.
Addressed the fact I didn't like actors, 3 fine performances, which for someone who don't respect actors, and there's a 4th actor in it, and he's one of the few actors I do respect, Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah, respect him.
So it addressed that, and then it addressed the thing I said about Aussie actors.
Similar.
No, he isn't. No, he's much shorter than I am.
Don't know.
Much shorter.
Not much in it.
He's got the same size legs as I have.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what
same size legs as I have, but my torso is much longer.
And then what's your other point?
Well, that was it. Yeah, the point is it addressed the Australian and all that.
Oh yeah.
And so I respected these. Now I'm not going to go through it in detail because I've already been on about this for quite a while. So I'm just going to say I'm going to get to the system in a minute. Basically, I'll give you a basic premise of the film. These 3 are cops, right? It's in the 1950s LA,
and that's Russell Crowe,
Mike from
Neighbours, and the controversial Kevin Spacey.
Yes, right. 3 cops, right? They're all very different. The controversial Kevin Spacey, surprisingly, is a bit of like a sleazebag cop, and all he cares about is he's like involved with a TV show, and he gets like publicity. He's like a celebrity cop, right? So that's all he's bothered about. Now, Russell Crowe, he's a right hard ass. And he'll his form of justice is just battering them. Cool. Especially if they've beat a woman up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Battering them. He even kills one bloke, he just loses it completely. Now, Mike from Neighbours, he's like a college boy.
I bet he's like, so he's been experienced then.
Well, no, he's been through college. And when you go through college, you get to go in as a sergeant. So he's not really an experienced copper.
Right.
But he's all about justice. He's all about doing things right.
By the book.
Everything by the book.
Yeah.
Now, something goes on at the beginning, and this other copper gets in trouble, who was Russell Crowe's partner or something. And he does something wrong, like beats somebody up or something. Now, Mike from Neighbours, they get all 3 of them in, because all 3 of Kevin Spacey, Russell Crowe, and Mike from Neighbours, they're all witnesses to it. They get him in the office, one by one, and they're like, to Russell Crowe, are you going to grass him up? Are you going to stand? And he's like, no, take my badge. Never do it. You get Kevin Spacey in. They say, if you don't grass him up, you're going to lose your part on the TV show. So he's like, all right, I will. Mike from Neighbours, he goes in, he's like, I've got no problems testifying. Everything by the book. So he's obviously not popular.
No.
Now, what goes on in the film is there's loads of like murders of coppers, murders of gangsters, all sorts of things going on. And it's really good the way that it develops, because it moves forward, and Mike from Neighbours and Russell Crowe, they're like complete opposites, but they start sort of like having a thing with the same woman.
Yeah.
There's like this rich bloke in it, and he runs like a escort service,
right,
where he gives all the women plastic surgery and makes them look like stars from the 50s, and so blokes pay a lot of money to do them. And there's one, Kim Basinger, Russell Crowe and Mike from Neighbours both sort of get it on with it, and so that causes more tension, and they hate each other. But it turns out it's like a story of like corruption and all sorts of things going on. And what happens is, ultimately, them 2 sort of have to start working together. And I tell you what, it's a bloody good film, and it might be, we don't know because I haven't run it through the system yet, but I'm going to run it through the system, and we're going to see sort of what mark it gets. Now, the beginning of the film, I thought was excellent. It set the premise perfectly.
So the way we score it is if you're wondering about the system, the system is so
accurate.
We rate the start of the film, the middle of the film, the end of the film. Obviously out of 100, so it's got to be
Where it's like
to be the
33,
perfect,
33, 33.
But if to
And then
be the
you've got a
perfect
floating
film,
point. You've got a floating point.
to be the perfect film, it has to be 33, 33, 34, or
If
34,
you don't know how it
33,
works, that means you're either a new listener or you haven't listened to the other things.
So go listen to it.
You'll find out.
You'll get it.
It's a good system.
And if you can't be bothered, you'll get it anyway.
You will.
If you do.
So I'll give you the example here using my film LA Confidential. Now the beginning of it, I'll tell you why I like the beginning of it. Don't go typing it in yet.
No, I'm just typing it, but I won't search it.
All right. Make sure you do it. I want to see how accurate the system is.
Right, go on.
We already know it's accurate. So the beginning, the thing I like about the beginning of a film, it's got to set the premise and it's got to establish the characters.
Yeah.
And this film does it perfectly, right? It establishes all the characters with little incidents. You know exactly who everybody is moving forward. Really good. What's another bonus is Danny DeVito, I mentioned earlier, one of the few actors I actually do respect. He's like a reporter in it, and they use that for him to do like a narrator, which is really good, I thought. So out of 33, I'm going to give the beginning really high. I'm going to give it like 32, I think.
Oh,
and it's just everything about it's real good.
Yeah,
the way it sets up the 50s in LA.
Bloody hell, yeah.
Really good.
Hi, Jesus.
Now the middle. Now it's quite a long film.
Bit slow in the middle then.
I'm going to fiddle around with the system. And it's my system, so I can.
Right.
And now this is going to be interesting. You're going to enjoy this.
Go on.
I thought about it because it's quite a long, and there is a slight dip. And there's a dip at the beginning of the middle. So what I'm going to do is it's 33 for the middle, but we've got a floating point. So I'm going to take the floating point and use that to make it 34 in the middle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it in two. I'm going to have the beginning of the middle and the end of the middle. And I'm going to rate each of them out of 17.
My head's gone. I don't.
It'll work. It'll work. So the beginning of the middle.
So like you. Right, yeah.
Yeah. It was
so like instead of doing a middle, you're doing a beginning and middle of the middle.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly. So it's out of 17, both of them.
Okay.
Now the beginning of the middle, this is what I like to call my napping gap or nap gap in a film.
Did you fall asleep?
I didn't fall asleep, no, but it's the point where I'm most likely to fall asleep. And it kind of, at this point, it kind of turned into a bit of a love story type thing. You know, like I was saying with Kim Bassett. Right, I was a bit like, well, I'm not that keen on this. Now, so out of 17, because it was a bit slow, the nap gap, it was tempting. I'm going to give it out of 17, 10. Right.
So
beginning of the middle.
That's 43 so far.
No, I give it 31.
Oh, yeah. No, you give it 32.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. I thought it was 42 then.
All right, 42 so far. Now, the end of the middle was really good. It started to get really interesting then. I'd never give it 17 out of 17, but I'd give it high. So I would give it, it was really setting things up nicely. I'd give it 15.
Yeah.
15. So what's that give us?
42, 15, 57 so far.
Right. Okay.
Right now the ending as well.
Again, the ending was very good. Really enjoyed it. Little bit of a problem with it in that there was a shootout that went on a bit too long. Now, you probably know I don't like shootouts for real long. No, bore me. Same as fight scenes, they bore me as well.
Well, you don't usually respect films with shootouts.
No, I don't, do I? No. But yeah, what I would prefer in a shootout really is that they started doing the shootout and then maybe just put a thing over the screen that just said shootout going on, and then it just went straight. You could see who was dead.
Yeah,
that'd be better. To me, it moved the plot on quicker, and it's a bit of a long shootout, so it's going to lose a few points for that. So it's out of 33. But it was good, and it was a good end to it. And I'll tell you what I liked about it. The fact that there was no intention to make a sequel like there is nowadays. A franchise. It was just a really
This sounds like a good film.
Really good standalone film. Yeah. So I'm going to go 31 for the end.
31?
Yeah. That's high from me, isn't it?
Hang on, what was we on? 52 was we on? No, 57.
No, it was 31
57
plus 10 plus 15.
32 plus 10.
So 56 plus 31, that's 86.
Right, 86.
86. Through the system.
99?
Jesus Christ. Well, I told you it was good, didn't I? But I told you it was good.
Nancy Nam.
I mean, that's
wow.
That is a bit top heavy. That
Yeah.
Nothing's Nancy.
No, that's saying that's one of the best films ever. That
I know it is. It's like what
Nancy Nam. I can't believe that.
Maybe if they ditch the shootout, maybe if they shorten the love scenes, bit more flesh in it. But that's just me, innit?
Who's the woman in it?
Kim Basinger. Haven't you heard of her?
She looks alright.
She is, it was quite a refreshing performance. She's pretty old now.
An alright actor, I mean, and she looks like she has certain skills which she could.
Yeah, well, she was supposed to look like this other woman who was like a actress or something, Veronica Lake. That was it.
Yeah,
and then, did them all to look up. But it's a tremendous film.
She's a really good, decent-looking woman as well.
For someone who looks at a film from technical perspectives, like me and you. It's worth a watch, definitely.
Well, I watched a film this week. Bit of a weird one.
Oh God!
And I'll be honest with you, I still don't know whether I like it.
But sometimes that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I remember seeing
and that's what intrigues me.
Orange, and I thought, I don't know.
I don't know if I like it or not. I really don't. It's called The Lodge. And I think it came out last year. And it has.
I think I've seen this.
It has. You know the newest It?
Yes.
You know the kid in it, and he's got like a stutter.
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Oh.
I know what you mean though. I remember the kid in it.
Yeah. Do you know?
And he's actually the kid, not the grown up.
He's no. The kid in it. He's in it. In the lodge.
The kid.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's in it. And I didn't really know any of the people in it, but it's like a horror, but it's like a psychological horror.
One of my favourites.
So basically, it starts off in that, and there's this woman, who's got a family, and there's like this.
Is he in her family?
Well, they're at the start. There's filming of the lodge, right? There's the film in this lodge, and then the camera pans out. Turns out it's a dollhouse. So
I think I've seen
the
this.
lodge is a dollhouse, right? But there's another lodge.
Yeah.
So the dollhouse is a lodge, but the dollhouse is of an actual lodge that they go to. So there's the dollhouse lodge, and there's an actual lodge that they go to.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that dollhouse is a copy of that.
So they've got a dollhouse made out of the lodge.
Anyway,
to represent.
Not made out of the lodge.
Yeah.
That made to Anyway, so this woman's just split up with her husband, right? So she goes to set the kids to his, and but she don't want to really split up with him. She still loves him in that. And she goes to his house, and he's they're having a chat and that. And she's sat there. She's having they're having a good chat. And anyway, he goes, "Oh yeah, I want to finalise the divorce." And she's like, "Oh, gutted and that." And he's like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh, how come? What's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get married to this other girl who he's got. Can't remember her name." Anyway, she's like, "Oh, bloody hell." Anyway, goes home, shoots herself.
She does?
Yeah, shoots herself.
Dies?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you would really, wouldn't you, if you shot yourself? Shoots herself in the head. So she dies.
Depends what you shoot yourself with. If you shoot yourself with a catty.
Alright, well, she dies, and, kids are, sad and that.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Mum's dead.
Will be, won't they? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And it's that kid from that...
Yeah, it's the kid from it. Yeah. Anyway, it goes on a bit, and he's like, oh, the dad, he's, trying to get the woman who he's wants to get married to. And involved with the kids, and he's trying to get the kids to meet her and like her and that. Start a relationship there, and they're not having it. And the kid from it, he's like, "Oh, it's your fault. It's your fault she died."
To the woman.
To him, to the man, and he's like, "It's your fault. My mum's dead. You're gonna marry a psychopath." So that's a bit weird. And why she called a psychopath then?
Yeah.
Turns out, is the man's ex-wife, who shot herself, did a bit of digging on this girl, and it turns out.
Hang on, he said to the dad, "You're marrying a psychopath," or he said to
he said to the dad, "You're going to marry a psychopath." So I thought, well, that's a bit weird. Why is she a psychopath? Turns out, the kid from its mum who killed herself did a bit of digging, right, before she died, obviously. And it turns out she was in like a cult, religious cult, right?
Like Manson. It wasn't really religious, Manson.
There's like a video of it, and there's all these like bodies, and they're all in body bags.
Sounds pretty good.
There was 39 people died, and she was the only survivor.
This sounds absolutely excellent.
And
it's an interesting.
So she goes to, she finds the. She's like, there's a video of it, and she's like getting on the body bags and that.
Yeah.
And she's zipping them open, and they're all like lied there dead, but they've got duct tape around the mouths.
Duct tape.
No, duct tape around the mouth.
Is it duct or duck? Duct.
I don't know. Ducking it. I thought it was duck.
I don't know. Try it.
I can't be asked to. Anyway, what was that about? Oh yeah, they've got some tape around the mouth, and it says "sin" on it, written on it.
Yeah.
And anyway, they're like, "Oh, that's weird." And bloke comes in.
This is on video.
Yeah, this is on video, and he's like having a look with his little sister.
A bit like Sinister.
They're having a look with his little sister. No, it's on the video on the internet though, so he's having a look on the laptop.
Yeah, well, just a different medium. Sinister was cine film. This is the internet.
Well, he's having a look with his sister on the laptop, and his dad comes in. So he's like, oh, quickly shuts it down, and he's like, what are you doing in my office? He's like, oh, I'm just
exactly like Sinister.
Researching a project for school. He's like, oh, right then. He's a nice guy, the husband, to be fair.
Yeah.
The dad, yeah, that's what I mean. Anyway, he's like, oh, what I was thinking of was, fancy going up to the lodge for Christmas, but I'm at work, he says.
Oh, great.
So, for a couple of days, but then I'll come down for the 25th. So you've just got to spend a couple of days with me wife, or soon-to-be wife.
I mean...
Anyway, there's kids are like...
yeah, he's a bit tight. He's a bit tight.
Like he's a bit tight. And the kids are like, oh, God, I don't want to go up there with her, she's a psycho and that.
How old are these
and
kids?
I've seen this video.
Like, of age.
He's about 15 or 14, I'd say.
I'd just said to my mum, look.
She's about, she's little. She's about 7, 8, something like that.
Different than that, I suppose.
He's like,
got a grandma or granddad?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, she's like, oh, all right then. So they're like, oh, we don't want to, because of mum and that. And he's like, well, can you just do it for me? So they're like, oh, all right then. So they go up anyway.
Is it a new film?
2019. Goes up to this lodge, and a few weird stuff happens. Anyway, they meet this woman. His soon-to-be wife. She seems to be a nice girl.
Is she attractive?
She's all right. I mean, she
had a feeling
she seems to be a nice girl, to be fair. And there was a bit in it where
devil women often are attractive.
She seems to be a nice girl. She brings a dog with her and that, and they're like not talking to her or anything.
The forbidden fruit.
Yeah, and anyway, the husband goes up with him and he stays the night, and they have it away on the night.
Oh yeah.
Which is a bit out of order because like the kids can hear it as well.
That is tight.
Which is a bit tight when the mum's just died and that. And, I forgot to say the girl has a doll of a mum. Right. From that lodge, the dollhouse. Because there's a dollhouse at the lodge.
That's a bit freaky.
So she keeps the doll of that. She keeps a doll of a man who died. Right. So anyway, she's like protecting this doll and that because it's like the last bit of a man. Because like the daughter took it hard. To be honest, the kid in it, from it, he didn't seem that bothered. I was surprised by him because he didn't really seem that bothered.
No.
But the daughter was bloody terrified. Like she couldn't believe it. She was like maybe hysterics. He wasn't even that bothered.
You've seen the end of it, haven't you? I was just going to say maybe he had something to do with it, but obviously.
Anyway, goes on a bit, and a few weird things starts to happen. she keeps like when she goes to sleep.
Is it quite supernatural?
She's on medication and she takes this medication. Yeah, she's on medication and that, and she's normal. And then wakes up one day, all the stuff in the lodge is gone.
She wakes up one day.
Well, all of them do. Well, except for the husband. The husband's gone back home, right?
He's a bad husband. Bad father.
She's there with the kids. They all wake up. Everything's gone.
I mean, another thing to think of, if she's taking like psychiatric drugs,
why would you leave your kids?
You want to leave your kids hardly nowhere.
Yeah, that was a stupid idea. Anyway, so
it should be called bad parenting.
A few weird stuff happens.
Lodge. Bad parenting at the lodge.
Some weird stuff happens, and anyway, this woman's like convinced that the kids are like messing with her because they know they're moving stuff around. She knows they know her past, and they think she thinks they're trying to get her to crack and that. Anyway, they had all the stuff. Oh no, they don't. All the stuff's gone, and then she's like, "Where's all my stuff and that? Where's all my stuff?" And she's like, trying to find stuff. Like all the stuff and that. Goes into their room to see if they've hidden it in there. All their stuff's gone as well. She's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, we don't know. We've got nothing to do with it. Goes downstairs, dog's gone. She's like, oh God, where's my dog? Anyway, it goes out because it's like snow and that.
The dog found the dog, is he?
Yeah.
I hate it when I don't watch films where they have dogs.
Anyway, she can't find the dog and that. And they're all trying to
like something, they're all trying to find it. He's killing like women and blokes and all this. But as soon as it kills a dog,
I know. But to be fair, you don't see the dog die. It just comes back. It's frozen. Frozen
to death.
Frozen to death. No, frozen to death. It's frozen to death. It's like a lolly or something. It's like a dog lolly. It's just frozen completely. I thought, why not try and defrost it, see what happens, but she didn't. Anyway, this frozen.
You can do it with a fly, can't you? Apparently, you can freeze a fly. So I wonder why you can a fly, but not
freeze a fly and then bring it back to life.
Yeah, don't you remember that David Blaine? He used to do a trick where he used to get a fly off a windscreen and then go bring it back to life. But what he did
never really watched it.
Frozen them, put them on there, and then when somebody come along, the warmth of his hand would thaw out the fly and reanimate it.
I prefer Darren Brown, to be honest. I really watched David Blaine. But anyway, the dog's dead and that. She puts it back in the bed, and she keeps having these weird dreams and basically flashbacks of when she was like at that thing, that cult, and she got flashbacks to dead bodies and that. And anyway, she has like a dream about them two kids.
It's still at the lodge.
Yeah, they're still at the lodge.
I kind of lost it a bit.
It's hard. It's hard to explain this one. It's a difficult one. The kid from it.
Yeah.
She has a dream that the kid from it's hanging in the loft.
Oh, right.
But he isn't.
Right. Okay.
And anyway, she goes off because she hadn't had a medication in days.
Yeah.
She goes mental.
Did that get taken with the rest of the stuff?
Anyway, they put this what's it called? Gas burner. Put this gas burner in the living room to heat them up and that because it's a bit cold. Anyway, fall asleep and that. She's like, "Is it a bit dangerous to have it in here?" Kid's like, "Don't worry about it. It's fine. What are you worrying about?" She's like, "All right then." Falls asleep. Wake up.
Is it a wooden lodge?
Yeah.
Stupid.
No. Wakes up next day. No burner. And there's a sheet of the lodge is there. There's a sheet of paper that says 3 people killed. Something. Turns out there's a paper that says they've all been killed because the gas fires lit the lodge up.
But they're still alive.
They're still alive in the lodge. She's like, right, what's going on here? I'm sick of this now. That sends her over the edge. And it turns out the 2 kids have been messing with her.
Even though, listen.
And they've hid all the stuff.
Is this the end? Like, this is...
No, this isn't the end. Still more to go.
Because I was going to say, right, even though you've told this appallingly, right, I'm actually quite riveted to know what happens at the end, so do a spoiler.
Anyway, so...
I'm not sure I can be bothered.
Gets to the end.
Stop wanting to know.
And this woman goes mental. She's proper not happy, right? And
they're mucking about.
She's like, it's basically she hadn't had the tablets, and this thing about she's dead. It's completely messing with her brain. There's this painting on the wall as well, where it's like a painting. It actually looks a bit like her, but it's quite religious, and there's loads of religious stuff around the lodge because of their mum who's dead.
Why is it religious?
Because there's like crosses and that, and there's like this painting's quite religious. And anyway, she's not happy with it. Takes it down and that, but it keeps like playing on her mind and messing with her head. And anyway, she actually she's cold. She gets real cold because she gets real cold because she's sat outside. She tries to walk. First of all, she tries to walk back to a town. Tries to walk to a town.
Is it? And it's cold in the middle of December.
Yeah, she tries to walk to a town. It's fixed snow. Yeah, she is. She tries to walk to a town with fixed snow, and she what?
Pass me that.
What?
But yeah.
Oh, you just pointed at it. I don't.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to be professional here.
Oh, right. Anyway, well, I'm not bloody. It's not. Anyway, she tries to walk to a town. She just tries to walk to a town, and it's too cold for it. But she goes anyway. Ends up walking, walks miles, and then there's just a bit where she just gets on her knees and that. She's looks in front. It's the lodge. She's just walked in a full circle. It turns out it's not full. I don't think it was a full circle though. It's just like basically saying you can't get away from the lodge. Anyway, she gets back in and that. She gets back in and that, and she's sat outside all day. She's freezing. Anyway, because she's thinks she's dead, she gets the fire going. Puts her knees in the fire.
And can she feel it?
Yeah. Burns all her knees and that.
I was going to say, this is
anyway,
like where I go, because I said there was all lodges.
The kids go upstairs in the attic. And
lake?
There's no lake. Kids go upstairs. Oh, yeah, there is actually. She falls in it. Kids, but that was before, and I can't remember to explain that bit. The kids go upstairs and that, and they can hear her in pain because she's burning herself in the fire, and they're like, "Oh God, she's going to be unbelievable." In the morning, she's not going to be happy. So they hide upstairs and that. And anyway, in the morning, she comes up. She's got a gun, and she's like,
"It's very sinister."
And she's like, "Oh, just it's going to be all right. You can join me. You can join me. You've sinned. You've sinned now. You can join me." And she's pointing the gun at him. Anyway, with that, Dad pulls up. Dad's back from work.
Yeah.
Pulls up in the lodge and walks in. Walks downstairs. He finds the frozen dog. He's like, "What's going on in here? Where is everyone?
Where is the frozen dog?"
It's downstairs in the dog bed.
And it thawed.
No. I don't know.
That's a bit weird.
No. He just found a dead dog then. He just found a dead dog. Anyway, goes upstairs and that. And he finds the woman and he's like, "Oh my God." He sees she's got a gun.
But did he know about a mental stage in the cult?
I don't know, but I suppose so. Which is ridiculous.
I was quite on the edge of my seat there.
Anyway, he's like, "Oh God," and he's on the stairs. She's at the top of the stairs and she's looking down with the gun and he's pointing at her and she's talking to him real softly like a proper mentalist. Anyway, he's like, "Just give me the gun. Just give me the gun.
Yeah,
it'll be fine. Just give me the gun." And she's like, "You're not real," because she thinks she's dead. "You're not real. You're not real. You're not real." Anyway, he goes to grab the gun. She shoots him. He dies on the stairs. The kids run up to him and he's like, "Oh no, Dad!"
And then does she think he's real?
She's just looking at him, staring at him. Anyway, grabs the kids, puts them downstairs in the kitchen. We're all sat at the dining room table.
Tapes them off. I bet.
And she moves the husband as well. And they're all sat there like a family. And she puts the gun down on the table. And she goes, "Shh, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine." Tapes the mouth up. Tapes all the mouths up. And it just ends. And I like this ending in a way because you don't see him actually get shot. But it just ends with a gun, a revolver. And you can see the bullets in it. And it's got 3 bullets in it. That's her.
Yeah, I must admit.
The little
that
lad
sounds
and
good
the
film,
little guy.
actually. So
it was alright, yeah, and I don't know if I like it or not because it was pretty slow. It was quite long.
Well, whether you like it or not, what will decide that is the system.
Yeah.
But don't do it just yet, because I was going to say that does sound quite good, and it sounds a bit like Sinister, but it sounds as if there was enough there to keep you entertained all the way through.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I didn't.
And is your conclusion then?
My conclusion
she
is
was mental in the last place, and it was like a cycle that she goes on where she's all right and then gets mental.
Well, the kids, to me, it was like That's what I mean. I don't know. I don't really have a conclusion on it, which is weird because I usually always have a conclusion on film.
Well, normally you know what's going to happen.
Well, exactly. And
did you know what's going to happen here? That's the question.
Did I?
Try and think.
No, I didn't.
Definitely not.
It was real good. Yeah,
so
I remember saying it was real good.
That's got to
it was class.
Well, use the system.
I'll use the system now.
The system will tell you definitively.
Beginning, I'd say
definitive.
Well, the woman shot herself, and that was quite shocking. Yeah. Anyway, beginning was all right. Little bit slow. Wasn't the most brilliant beginning I've ever seen. And there was obviously like the character. It seemed that the characters knew more than me, which I don't like in films sometimes.
But sometimes that's good because don't you like mystery films?
Yeah, I sort of do.
A mystery film.
Depends on the film. Really. And I don't think this is the type of film that needed that. I suppose they were trying something new, but I think the premise was new.
That's a good premise for a film where the characters know more than you.
Anyway,
you got a note at the beginning what told you everything what's going to happen. Including the end of the crap film.
I'd give the beginning 24 out of 33.
Reasonably strong, I'd say.
24 out of 33. It was alright.
Don't forget about my split trick if you needed to do it with the beginning and the middle.
Now the middle, there's some weird stuff that goes on, but it was slow. I felt it was very slow.
Sorry, what was that? You just give it.
24 wasn't it? 24.
I forgot. Oh yeah, 24. We are talking about like 10.
Anyway, the middle was slow. It was very slow.
24. I remember that.
24. I'd give the middle 20. Some weird stuff happens. You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah. That's a bit. Again, it reminds me so much of Sinister. Now, I would have probably, just from what you've told me, like Sinister, if you remember, I gave that a real strong beginning because of a great premise. And I thought this sounded a reasonable premise where this woman had been in the cult and all that. Sounds quite good. But then, go on anyway.
I thought the ending was pretty good, actually. I thought the ending was brilliant. I'd give it 31. 31.
Really?
The ending, yeah. I remember thinking, wow, that was...
So 24, 20...
31.
Is that right? 24, 20, 31, 75. Am I right?
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty decent, really.
75. Let's check.
75. No, it actually was called The Lodge as well. 2019 film. 74.
74?
That's the system. That's the system.
Incredible, isn't it?
That's the system.
That's incredible. I love it.
This system proves itself.
It does, doesn't it?
I know. Every single time.
Brilliant.
It just proves itself even more. Every episode, the system proves itself.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, look, anyway. Lodge. Jay.
I'm looking at the lady who was the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Alicia Silverstone. Was that her who was the psycho lady?
No, she kills herself.
Oh, is she the mother?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the woman who's mental.
Yeah.
She's alright.
She's alright, yeah.
Proper mental, though.
Attractive. I like Alicia Silverstone.
But anyway, that was my film of the week. And to be honest, I enjoyed it. Lodge was a good film. And it's a fair... I mean, the system, brilliant there.
It's another in-depth one where you dug into it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's pretty lengthy time. But, we'll give you the films. Go check them out, everyone.
Any honourable mentions? It'll have to be very honourable this week.
You know what?
I have one.
Oh, go on.
It's going to be super quick. The Fair.
What's that about?
Have you watched The Fair?
What is it?
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's Tom Cruise... even though he's a bit weird. Tom Cruise. It's the reason it's brilliant is because it's written by a writer like us. I forget his name.
Yeah, is it like based off a novel?
Yeah.
He
always does legal dramas, but it's a legal drama. Just watch it. We haven't got time to go through it. I might save it for the time if we're short. We never are short though, have we? That's the problem.
I'm trying to think of any honourable mentions really quick off the top of my head.
The Fair's brilliant.
No, I ain't got any. But we'll give you the films. The Lodge, good film. LA, what was it?
Confidential.
LA Confidential.
A fine piece of Australian.
Obviously a great film from the looks of the ratings and the rating Elbis give it.
Yeah.
So go check them out.
What I would say is if the first part was a bit crap at this, then it's Monkey's fault.
Yeah.
We'll get
her. Oh, yeah, it's Monkey's fault. She can apologise.
She can answer to a sins.
But make sure you subscribe, leave a comment and that.
Probably going to be breaking up some more episodes into quality segments.
Yeah, we'll probably do this one or something, maybe. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure you like it, subscribe, leave a comment, and say like, "Oh yeah, that was good." And then
we need the outro to it as well.
Oh God! Well, you could have done it.
I don't know it. I'll try and find it.
Yeah, you do.
I do Dream Our Vision, and that's it.
Oh, I'll do it then. Yeah, just make sure you.
If you
just keep listening in that penultimate episode there. Final episode next week.
Next week is the series finale, which is a sad event, but at least we're going to get a bit of downtime.
Yeah.
We can get back to our writing, what we do best, really. I mean, if you think we're good on a podcast, you wait till you read our scripts and watch our films once they get made, obviously.
Oh, it is going to be. The future for Elbis and Elbis is going to be world class.
So getting now,
and the present is world class. So watch out for the merch. We'll announce that. Go follow the Elbis and Elbis Twitter account at Elbis and Elbis. Email us at Elbis and Elbis world class email. Oh no,
at Gmail.
No, Elbis and Elbis world class email at gmail.com for any queries.
And there's a website coming soon as well, but don't give the web address away.
All right, then I will. See if you can guess it. Leave a comment if you can guess the website.
See if you can guess the website.
But thanks for listening and that. We've been Elbis and Elbis. You've been world class. I'm starving as well. Yeah.